Radio is down. They're still going to try to get the supply down, but now smoke is popping. Oh, no. Helicopter might tumble down the mountain now. And it's going to. What a horrible start for Canada. The helicopter goes down. Oh, my goodness. Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today we've got another episode of Eye in the Sky, where we take a look at a game of squad from the top down. And this one, we have the Canadians up against the Russians on Scorpo. This is Scorpo RAS V1, and it's the 3rd Battalion Royal Canadian Regiment up against the 205th Separate Motor Rifle Brigade. This is another one of those matchups where both teams have completely different ways of fighting. The Canadians, super mobile, super light, a bunch of helicopters, a bunch of transports, and the Russians, they have a lot of those newer vehicles, the BMP-3M, the BMP-2M, BMP-1AM. It's a cool matchup because the styles are going to have to be different for both teams if they want to be successful, and on a map like Scorpo, literally anything can happen. So I think you guys are going to enjoy. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and drop me a comment below with a map, game mode, or faction you'd like to see in the next one. And don't forget to check out the live streams over at twitch.tv/MoiDawg, where I stream throughout the week. But that's it for me. Until next time, peace. All right, Eye in the Sky, and this is Scorpo RAS V1. We are on board with the Russians, and they are taking on the Canadians, right? Yep, Canadians. So the Russian 205th Separate Motor Rifle Brigade up against the 3rd Battalion Royal Canadian Regiment. And this should be a good one. Going to have some of the newer vehicles that Russia has. And the most recent update, a couple of the tracked Logis, 3 of them, 2 transports, some MTLBs, so the PKT and VMK, not the toughest vehicles, but it's just treated like a, I guess, mobile machine gun. 2 of the BMP-3Ms, 1 BMP-2M, and then 1 BMP-1AM. There is a T-72B3 in 6 minutes, and then a helicopter. So a lot of cool new weaponry. I wish we could see it in a little bit more units, but the BMP-3M and BMP-2M absolutely shred. And on a map like Scorpo, it should be good. Canadians, 3 Logis, a couple transports, both the big truck transports and then the LUVs. The TAP V, which remember has been changed, it no longer has a 50 cal, it just has a general purpose machine gun and that grenade launcher turret. A couple other, oh actually, wow, 4 of these. I didn't realize it was that heavy on the light armor. So 4 machine gun LUVs, and then 1 with the 50 cal. These would be open top, and then a Leopard, I believe in 10 or 15 minutes. It's going to be a delayed spawn, so armor heavy for the Russians to start off, and then 3 helicopters though. So Canadians really relying on the mobile helicopters, the lightly armored Vics, which should be good for a Scorpo map. Going from the northeast spawn into the southwest, Adnaclat for the first point, a lumberyard, power plant, water storage as the midpoint, Bornset Shipyard West, Lursener, and Hero's Son. So should be good. But you can already see on the map helicopters for Canada deploying. I believe Canada, they actually get, with the 3 helicopters, I want to say they get double ATGMs. And we're going to double check this because I believe that is the setup here. Double ATGMs, yes, an extra ATGM per FOB and 2 hats. So we could be looking at quite a crazy ATGM FOB, and helicopter's going to land on that right quick. And this is the spot of all spots on Scorpo, ATGM Hill. And with 2 ATGMs, we can actually hear a Logi or transport just south of us here underneath the camera. But with double ATGMs, 3 helicopters, you should... Oh, no! Tumbles out. Don't fall down the mountain there, bud. No, he just fell out the helicopter, and now the BMP actually opening up on the helicopter, too. Infantry just spilling out. They aren't able to do it quick enough. Oh, no, rotor goes down. They've actually lost the rotor, and then the high explosive rounds starting to impact helicopter. Oh, they're still going for it. Needed dump supplies quick, and oh, no! Radio is down. They're still going to try to get the supply down, but now smoke is popping. Oh, no. Helicopter might tumble down the mountain now. And it's going to. What a horrible start for Canada. The helicopter goes down. Oh, my goodness. Pilot follows it down, too. Is not how you want to start as an airborne unit.
We don't need habs.
My squad leader left us.
Well, interesting start for Canada. Did they actually manage any build on this? They did get some build. Helicopter Giggity. I think he tried to follow down his helicopter, see if he could respawn. But Giggity loses his chopper. They are able to get 600 build down. So they will be able to get a spawn. But with 600 build, you only have 200 ammo. So even if they get that ATGM, just like Sprite here has, they've built the ATGM, but you don't actually have enough ammo to do it. So it's interesting with these helicopters. Canada, they want to rush the ATGM placement, but then you actually need to get a quick RTB. You need to get a quick rearm, and then get back so those ATGMs can actually get up. So you think you're going to be able to rush these really important positions, but unless you actually get that back and forth Logi run, you're just going to have an ATGM that's sitting there doing nothing. So we did have a C6 transport push into, this is internal, so this is an underground tunnel here. Pushed up. Squad 1 actually got wrecked by, I believe it was Brode in one of the BMPs.
It's going to probably go. Yeah, 7's going.
And we're going to get maybe some more here. Which BMP is this? So this is the BMP, I think 1AM? Yes, BMP 1AM has that BTR-82A turret, but the BMP chassis. So a little bit stronger than those MTLBs. But BMP, he's going to, I believe, turn right the corner here. Yep. BMP 1AM rolling down Main Street. And some Canadians, I believe, are right up on the hill. You see some movement in the trees here. And Canada needs to get their AT.
Yeah, the 4-5 will be on around that gas tank on M13. Around there.
Look at all this. It's hard to see, but the moment you turn the outlines, you can just tell. Oh my goodness, and oh, what a shot! Engined and tracked, I believe. Able to knock out one of the LUVs, just a lightly armored Mercedes-Benz, essentially. And gonna do some drive smoke. I actually would not drive smoke at this point, so that way you actually know where the infantry is. Losing one, but not the other. You can see the backside, and ooh, AT. Oh, is that an ATGM? I think they missed. Oh, they did. ATGM actually misses, and that might have been all of its ammo. Oh, and it was. Wow, Canada just cannot figure out their ATGMs at the moment. Defobly at FOB. You actually need to focus. There's infantry all over him. Flashy lights man. He's actually probably going to pop him here. Infantry. There you go. Infantry finally mop up the BMP 1AM. If anything, you should be able to now know that there's a FOB, a rally, a bunch of stuff right here, which should be good for some follow-up attacks, but losing...
point is on the port on J1. That's a 5.6, 4 point will be on M13.
You can see they're calling out potential points based on some troop movement here, but hold on a second. We'll get back to the north side, but...
You want me to build up a FOB on the second point?
Let's take a look at our mountain boys. They're still on the mountain. They finally have an ATGM. And I think they have at least one ammo in it. Or one round in it.
Alright, sounds good.
You can see Logi is still in the tunnel beneath them, but I think there's a BMP climbing the hill. Oh, there are! There is! Words are hard. So, BMP, unbeknownst to the Canadians here, they're actually finally getting some ammo. And they're trying to find this T-72, and you can see T-72 is actually where the smoke. Center your screen. It's kind of far off. I believe that's BMP and T-72. I want to see if they can hit that. Oh, it might be able to. Oh, great shot, and they pop it. Oh my goodness. Long range ATGM knocks out the BMP on the island.
Probably gonna start looking at you here in a second.
And fantastic shot from this ATGM team.
Over here somewhere. So far, I couldn't even mark him.
The T-72 is right behind him. You can see.
The other one's sitting south of him.
But the BMP at least. So finally, they're able to do something with their little ATGM mountain. Let's take a look to see what the.
We won't be able to get the fourth flag. Enemies on power plant.
The BMP 3M. They're just mountain goating this.
Just set the infantry. It's just only one guy. If they survive on the power plant, they can cap it. They didn't even cap their fourth flag.
And I don't think they see him just yet. Oh, they see him now. BMP mountain goating their way to the top. And I don't know if there's any form of spawn point other than the rally. There is not. So if the BMP actually gets close enough, they will squash the rally. And the infantry are going to be wiped on their point. And this is something you would have not expected to see if you're the infantry. Are they able to get up to it? You might have to go a little sideways to do this. And the BMP, they're so close to victory here, they can taste it. Toss and smoke the infantry. And I think they'll be able to just angle it. You can kill this if you're the infantry up here. I believe they have a handful of AT. Yes, they have 2 AT. Those will be laws, so just light anti-tank. And you have a rifleman as well. So the... Oh, they're actually not able to climb it up, the BMP. You need to get around this edge. And now you actually have the tank as well starting to engage. This will most likely be a wipe. At this point, you might just need to rebuild your ATGM in a different location. You can see infantry and torn face. I wonder if they're going to decide to dig this down or not. You don't necessarily want to give up the position, but this will be a lot of tickets to lose. Thrill House, Broge, they're finally creeping up to the top. Oh, they might tumble down. The BMP just trying to get to the top of the mountain. Can it? You can see the Law underneath his backpack here. Anti-tank team trying to get around, and if they actually track the BMP, I think it will cause him to skid and tumble down the mountain. Oh, one tracked. Oh, and now he's actually stuck in the worst position. Getting an ammo crate down, and that is huge. And now the BMP crew has to decide what they want to do. This is one of the worst locations you can get because you don't have any depression if they actually just peek you. Left side track should go down in a second to confirm he can't rotate. Blasted by HE. Oh, and they're actually going out for the turret. Not a bad decision. SL going to have to pull out his bandage and rep, and now infantry are just swarming it. And honestly, I think I would swap to a coax machine gun at this point. A little quicker. But the BMP is in a horrible position. Let's take a look quick at the map. Power plant just north of us has been secured by the Russians. Water storage as well by the Canadians. So Canada actually in the lead. when it comes to capture points. And this should be a tracking shot. Really line it up, and no, going into the side hole. So that should do nothing to reset the progress to the track, and that's kind of the problem
How long's the timer on that tank?
the AT's dealing with. You need to make sure
It's 50
that the
minutes, right?
track stays down, so this thing it just sits pretty on the side of the hill. 220 ammo left on this FOB, so squad 8 for Canada can knock him out. These rockets, I believe, are 30 or 30 ammo, so plenty of ammo to deal with them. And the tracks are up. You need to get rolling. I wonder if they're just going to bounce backwards. And I think they're going to make the smart decision and say, you know what, let's not play with a squad with never-ending AT. And oh, last high explosive smacking one of the AT boys. So they have to give up the position, but causing a little bit of damage in the meantime. However, Canada able to knock out at least one vehicle so far with that ATGM. So that is a victory for Canada here. And now let's take a look at what we got. This is the big fight here. So we've got water storage. Red, once again, Canada. I don't believe they actually have a FOB on the position. Oh, they do. It's over one run at the moment. So radio position, you can see that hourglass shape, the red hourglass. Russians all around it. So if they're able to get bodies on, it's almost like they don't even know it's there. Joe, I think, finally pulling out his shovel, and they're going to start digging down that radio. But Canada, although they have the middle cap at the moment, Hab spawning in right here. You got Recon Vaughn, George XP, Veteran Gaming, Rec. They're all spawning out. If they can push out west towards us, towards Paranormal, towards that radio, I don't know why they're not digging down this radio. Are they actually missing it?
Is in the smoke.
Oh, good MG, and that's Exhausted Ghost actually hopping up on that LUV. And this is really good work from him. He's just firing into that radio, knows that the radio... Oh, and he knocks out Joe, too. And frag 5490. Narutik now has to bandage up before he goes down. And really, just excellent defense at the moment. I thought this was done and dusted, and just plenty of machine gun fire, plenty of smoke to conceal, and a grenade to finally mop him up. Naked Gip, really? Okay. Last Russian on the objective here, and there is no rally. It was a squad 3 push, and if you look on the map, there is no squad 3 rally, which means once Naked goes down, that's going to be a complete wipe here. So the only benefit at the moment, though, is you're still giving your team plenty of options to push in, and you can see they are doing that right now. Eastern side, squad 7 moving up with infantry, as well as, I believe, an APC. Yeah, you got one of the MTLBs with plenty of machine guns. It's lower caliber, though. It's not the 14.5 or 12.7 as an ATGM flies right by. Oh, and it actually smacked something. Nam the Ninja and Manji going, trying to support the infantry on the objectives, and they actually get tagged by that ATGM. Fantastic shot. Fire is up, and they got to put it out. And I wouldn't be surprised if another ATGM... Oh, and there it is, ATGM coming in. You need to smoke it. If you smoke it, it interrupts the ATGM, and they just don't do it. Turret flies 100 meters in the air, and I'm very confused as why they didn't use any smoke. So in the most recent ATGM update, all vehicles, their defensive smoke, it's actually IR blocking smoke. So if the BMP in this position, you see that wire coming in, if you actually pop smoke, it interrupts the path of the ATGM and will cause it to skew around, and you will survive. So now I'm curious as to why they're just sitting. They just had a vehicle go down, and you can hear it. Like, strangely enough, there isn't much command comms on these ATGMs. I mean, we just lost a BMP. No one is saying anything. And this is the BMP that was down here earlier. And we have another AT team, Lost Pet Rock and Inman, rolling out. And oh, BMP rolling right towards this AT team, and fantastic tracking shot by the Tap V team. And BMP, oh, I'm not sure if he's going to have, oh, he's going to have perfect depression actually for it. Swapping over to the left. I'm not sure if he's actually seen him just yet. It might be panicking, and he's firing it into, oh, they've actually lost a little bit of the turret. That's why. Now finally dials it in, but it should give him just enough time to rearm that rocket, and that is what they've done. Tap V has not gone down just yet. As a rocket strike hits somewhere just north of us in the fields of Scorpo, anti-tank team trying to finish off this BMP. BMP 3M has been through the ringer here, climbing the mountain, facing off against an AT team, coming down the mountain, running into another AT team, and this should be a good flank by the Canadians here, popping up just in the center of your screen in between the bushes, and he should have a perfect angle for it. Good shot, and it's a double. You get the BMP on fire and also knock out the repair, and you knock out the vehicle. Good tracking by the Canadians here. BMP down, Tap V on his way to rearm and find some more vehicles to kill, to harass, to destroy. Good shoot, and also Pug Reset is up here too with the heavy anti-tank. And this might start a snowball situation here. 289 tickets to 190. So I'm surprised it's that big of a difference. But if we think about it, there's not too many vehicles for the Canadians to lose. And there's, hold on a second, ATM. Oh, speaking of vehicles to lose, another ATGM, Popsy APC. So APC climbing the hill, and we've seen teams. Oh, another one. Another ATGM. There's ATGMs flying. Matt and Sean, they have to turn their BMP-1 AM around, just like AORUS is with his Vic here.
Do we have any assets available?
But the ATGMs, they've had enough time. Oh, and hold on a second. You can see it. Oh, what a shot from way downtown. ATGM lands on the MTLB. Second one here misses. But let's see if the third can finish it off. Smoke a little bit to the left, and there you go. Vehicles erased from the map. ATGMs by Canada just having a field day. Unbelievable. This is how you play the air assault unit. Vehicles becoming a liability in Scorpo for the Russians, and what was going to be a pretty competitive game, actually, right when it rolled out. I thought Russia and Canada were going to be able to duke it out, unless the big thing you need right now for Russia is you need your infantry to do well, have a good command strike, get yourself up into the point. If they capture water storage, we've got a new ball game here. So don't count themselves out just yet. But the problem is, at this point, I don't know if I would bring out a vehicle if I'm Russia. The ATGMs, they have too much ammo. 838. There's actually, so you have one extra. You have 3 ATGMs, 2 that can fire immediately right here. You also have, they're getting up another ATGM team. We have 1 that's loaded with an extra here on the hill. So they're getting up another one. So in total, you have, at the moment, if a vehicle was to pop out right now, you could have 4 ATGMs fire on it within seconds. And speaking of, T-72 rolling down, and just based on the lifespan of all the other vehicles at the moment, I'd be surprised if this one stays alive. I'm sure if the ATGM up on the top of the mountain has an angle, and it doesn't. You can see the infantry just barely poking out. But, I mean, what good work. I thought Russia was going to be able to stymie that attack almost immediately. But now it's all in the infantry. Oh! Well, I'm wondering where that one came from. I think it came up from up north. And oh no! Oh my goodness, the hats! Heavy anti-tank team does a little 1-2, and oh my goodness! How high is that turret tossing? Holy moly. And this is what we're saying. It makes no sense to bring out any of your vehicles. The Canadian anti-tank and anti-tank infantry and just anti-tank guided missile teams, they're just way too strong. So with all those vehicles out at the moment, now we get our infantry grind, and it should be a grind. Infantry trying to push up the hill, and you got Flashy Lightman's Holty Bolty dead under the tree over to our left side. But Flashy Lightman, they have the high ground, the Canadians. They're trying to push down onto the next point. Might be hopping into that C6 machine gun. No, trying to hide behind. He gets actually tagged and should go for a grenade toss. Ooh, it might be a little too far. Did it bounce off a tree back towards him? Oh, it did! Oh, no! It actually knocked on the side of this, this tree trunk. Came back at him. Canadian goes down to his own grenade.
We need construction.
And this is the Tap V. And wow, the Tap V actually going to be able to make it out. Just nothing going right for... What is Squad 8? Oh, they actually dropped in. This is a good flank. So Squad 7, we actually got some good pressure now from the Russians. George XP trying to drive his Logi north side. He might get smoked by Russian infantry. And somehow his lightly armored vehicles just survived an ambush. George XP, he don't care. Wow. So infantry, once again, will pop on our outlines of the capture point as well. So on the north side, you actually have a squad 7 north of water storage. You have squad 3 who's engaging the Tap V team down in the south. Pug reset, dismounting, and he's probably going to find himself dead here. But infantry are all starting to tighten the... Honestly, actually, squad 3, they're really out of position. So this western push out here, they're going in because they thought there was a FOB built. They marked the helicopter, saw the infantry. They just guessed that a radio is going to be put down, the Canadians. But squad 3 is a little bit out of position. You don't get too sidetracked. But if they can come around on the now the west side of water storage while the north side is pushed, we can have a pretty good flip here. Let's see, is there another ATGM though just been flying down?
Can I meet you at 9 move mark? I'm about to have that.
But here we go. Infantry have been pushed back. The Canadian infantry. So it's disappointing that the armor has been picked apart as they have, because the infantry seem to be doing a pretty decent job. Recon Vaughn might get the jump on Shroomy here. And he's going to just stay weapons tight, and finally he goes down. Shroomy. Clone mate trying to look up where he was at. but infantry are slowly pushing themselves out of the defensive point for the Russians and starting to make some moves on the Canadians at water storage. And good GL. Recon goes down, and Russians trying to push back. You say they're just on the edge now, and you need a command asset of some sort. There is a Shroomy with the command squad. If you get a nice creeping barrage around here, and oh, there it is. This was from earlier. I still don't understand why they haven't. Did they dig it down now? I believe it is actually on bleed now. No, they just dug it down one stage. I'm confused as to why. Scob. Oh, it looks like he probably has C4 on it. Scob going in for the radio, doing the super shovel C4. And there it goes. C4 pops. So radio will be on bleed. And the Canadians are now going to be without a spawn point. There is no team spawn. And I'm actually not even seeing a rally near water storage. There's a couple on the north side, actually. Yeah, one on the north side. So no team spawn in the middle. Just 2 squads that have rally spawns, but those might be squashed soon. AJ Applegate coming around to defend. And AJ needs to make a big play here. He's got maybe 30 seconds left before that radio bleeds out. Need to make a move for the radio, but you don't want to just walk in and get killed, and he might get a 2-piece here. Good flank. Can he see him? He's holding his rifle backwards. Might shoot himself in the chest. Goes for the grenade. Tossing the smoke, and infantry should see him. Scob misses. Finally gets him. And oh, he's not going to see him. Radio might be saved. What a play. Exhausted Ghost able to do it. Sappermans goes down to their own friendly grenades, but they just cannot finish off this radio. But this has allowed infantry from the south and southwest to push in. Zephyron, Frag, Elijah, they're all pushing in, and that rally should be squashed in a second. Rally squashed. There's no more rallies for the Canadians. No rallies, no team spawn just yet because the radio isn't up. Radio should be just about on in maybe another 10 seconds or so. Yep. So Hab will be spawnable in 20 more seconds, and we should get a nice little wave spawn for the Canadians. 77 tickets to 246. It's really just the ticket pinatas that the vehicles have been in.
That tactical strike, tactical request again when I
Frag 5490 pushing up. Might see Rix and Thrill House, and he chooses Rix. 2 into the side, doesn't finish him. Goes back to Thrill House. Can he finish off Rix? Nice double kill. Thought it was an awkward shot selection at first, but it pays off.
Oh, never mind. We got friendlies on the radio now.
And a helicopter just... Did the helicopter just blow up? Not sure where that came from. But 70 tickets. And I'm seeing more BMPs, or I'm hearing BMPs. I'm really confused as to why they would want one. So BMP up at Adnaklat.
Yeah, I'm on the Hab if someone wants to call in the tactical request. Squad
I think
7.
the BMP... I think he's actually being engaged by ATGMs.
Drop it, Devin.
Yeah, ATGM team has spotted the BMP, but I mean, this is just way too far to be really effective. So the BMPs, I really wouldn't even be bringing them out right now. No vehicles, please. Let's get back to our fight on the hill.
Right there, do it.
Mortars now coming on to the point, and that is good work. I believe these are Russian mortars. Or are they defensive mortars?
Actually, Squad 3, can you confirm?
Not able actually to see any mortars at the moment, so... Very confused at where they might be. But I believe these are Russian mortars because they are hitting the point.
Right now. It's rounded.
Russians now pushing back onto the radio, but the hab is spawnable, and what was about to be finally a Canadian team wipe, Russians now have to face the entire team spawning back in, because once again, this is the only team spawn Canada has up near the objective here. They have one back on this hill, but this is an ATGM location.
Down 3 diamond or something.
Good shots.
Yeah, so
Thrihouse goes down
you can
again.
go through
Exhausted
it down
Ghost
that mark.
laying down in the dirt. Lizzia got close to the radio,
I can make it work.
but there's just not enough infantry blob in action for the Russians. They're just kind of getting onesie-twosies. Jack HV 301 goes down. These actually might be defensive mortars now that I'm seeing them. Oh, there it is, right out from under them. Russians. If anything, the pressure on the radio and the hab has allowed the infantry to storm across the hill, and now you've got a full squad and a half capturing water storage. Oh, but there's a UAV up in the air. This is a Canadian UAV, and they've spotted the big grouping, and I believe they've now put an artillery in. Oh, this is going to be a great artillery barrage. There is nowhere to hide for the Russians. There's this little shed, but I don't even think you can get into it. You can't. This is just going to be wide open, and this arty barrage should wipe off the Russians. 60 tickets to 218.
If we cap water storage, that's going to be good, but we don't want them to cap it back, otherwise they're going to get 60 more tickets.
And that's looking like what's going to happen. Actually, I'd be surprised if they even get the cap with this arty barrage. Arty barrage. Oh, it's a double arty barrage. Russian arty barrage off to the southwest. We're getting this one right in front of the Canadian team, and then we're going to get an arty barrage on the Russian team. Both commanders pulling out the arty, and there you go. Russian arty landing, and it's actually knocked out 10 or so infantry already. Good barrage, and one landed right on that radio as the Canadian ones land now too. Russians are going to be scrambling. The double arty barrage. And they've actually nearly wiped the Russians off the point. There's just one left. What great artillery from both commanders. And can they get the last one? Ren is the only one left inside as the artillery creeps up. And I think the radio got knocked out. It did. So Russia is actually on the front foot after the artillery. The arty for the Canadians, yes, it did a whole bunch of damage. But infantry Ren, is if he actually is a little brave here, if he gets up and starts... I'm confused at why he's not actually getting up and picking up his buddies. They could actually have capped this back already, but they're not going to. Russians still pushing in, trying to get towards that radio. A whole bunch of Canadian bodies on top of that radio. They finally dug it back up. Ren now is up and moving, trying to get some bandages going. And Canadians, Quacky and George XP should run into Scob, and the gamer guy, Quacky, burst firing, able to get Scob. And the gamer guy goes down to a pistol by George. But coming around the flank, right on the backside is Bukaki's. Oh, God. Oh, not Bukaki. Oh, hey, I read it wrong. You guys name yourselves things. How was I not? Bulake. God damn it. I blame you. I blame you. All you past players with your names. God damn it. Pushing up onto the hill. We've got the Russians. I don't think they're... Yes, the hab is still spawnable. The Russians just cannot knock this out. And now they've actually... Ooh. Did they just ATGM? They did just ATGM'd the infantry. Russian infantry hit by a Canadian ATGM. And now more Colonel Hacker, CD, Sappermans, and Sam. Oh, this is great. They've actually flanked on the east side. Or sorry, west side. Is it east side? It is east side. Water is north. East side. And they've gotten the infantry that are stuck on the backside here. And you can see how difficult it is to see the Canadians crawling up. They just did not even see them flank around. And because of this, look at all the bodies. Wow, what a defense by Canada. I thought they were done and dusted 3 times over now. And even with the Arty barrage, just not able to do it. And if we just put back all those vehicle tickets that were lost, let's do some quick math here. So 20. Ooh, it might be another one.
It's accurate.
Oh, good smoke. Yeah, smokes out the ATGM and loses track of the BMP3M.
Is that radio? Yep.
But there you go. So let's do some quick math. So 20 tickets, because both 3Ms were lost. 10 tickets, so 30, 40. Both of these, 50, the tank, 65, plus all the crew. I mean, there's nearly 80 to 90 tickets that have been lost just by vehicles alone. So if you add those back, it's actually a 20-ticket game. So it's really the vehicles right now have just been hurting the Russians. And Thrillhouse and George XB, I mean, you got to give credit to the infantry on both sides. They're actually just grinding it out. Canadian infantry managing to hold off and make a stand. But Russians also, they have done a lot of work on the infantry side. Another ATGM flies over and trying to figure out where exactly it is. And runs right into a house. War crimes being committed by the Canadians here on the people of Norway. Paranormal, Ballistic, Narutic, all wiped on the top side of this hill. And the Russians, are they able to capture it? It's still about 25% to neutral. Canadians trying to float back into the point and just get some more bodies here. Colonel Hacker CD trying to continue to wipe the remaining Russians. And you got Kraken Doyle, Emotional Watermelon. Or if Watermelon sees Colonel Hacker, and he does. Should be able to get his buddies up now. 37 tickets to 160. Sapperman's coming around the backside, and after taking out Emotional Watermelon, they have a secure point. Wow. Just really digging their heels in and not letting the Russians have this. And look at how many bodies. I think this is a game right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've got 12 bodies waiting to be revived with 27 tickets left, and unfortunately for Russia, they're just not able to finish it off. But you have one last play of the game here. I don't know. What is Wasabi Dictator? What is he doing?
Yeah, keep spamming that more. It will do its job just fine.
Wasabi Dictator
Yeah, we should just,
has done some spec ops.
Hold power plant with the 23 tickets we got. We're not gonna have another good push.
And I'm wondering, uh-oh.
We're gonna have to just.
You might do it. Lining it up for the final shot.
Hold power plant.
Tell you guys to not give up.
What a hat round! Absolutely deletes the Canadian anti-tank guided missile and then swaps to his rifle, trying to take out some infantry. And the ATGM teams are
Bring
confused
building so we can start.
finally goes down. Hey, you know, if you're gonna lose the game, at least do that, right?
There's no point.
Oh, too
Don't say
funny.
that. Don't say that.
And might have one roll of dice by the
Just let them have
ATGMs
fun
because you
building their little
have
castle up.
one more BMP that's rolling out. Once again, I do not know why they keep bringing out the BMPs. Oh, ATGM being fired, and that is a long way out. Might end the game right here. And it misses. I think careened into the side of the mountain there. BMP able to evade it. 13 tickets left. So, yeah, pretty much could end the game if any more vehicles goes down. And hearing the Leopard open up, but I've got to give infantry credit on both sides. 13 tickets to 154. The game is actually a lot closer than those tickets show, all because of those vehicles. BMP 3M still trying to peek and do something. And there's not even much infantry action happening. And there it goes. Vehicles kind of did the Russians in with that one. Nearly 100 or so tickets lost just in vehicles alone. 154 tickets to the Canadians. 0 for the Russians. Good effort by both sides. That water storage fight really kind of showcasing how even the infantry was, but 98 kills to 141. GG's.